there's a transition in the spiritual life, which is probably one of the more difficult transitions. It's probably the most difficult transition to make spiritually you'll ever make. And not a lot of people make it. I think not a lot of people make it, number one, because they simply don't understand what that transition is about, what's being asked of them. Because it's almost never talked about. And the transition I'm talking about is the transition from spiritual insight, revelation, spiritual awakening. Once that started to happen, and once that's gone to a certain place, it's helped you to see a certain thing, then that becomes of secondary value. Yeah, you'll have understandings the rest of your life. You'll have little aha moments forever. You know, they may not happen as often as you wish, but you'll still have them. But you realize that's not, at a certain point, your relationship with spirituality is going to be asked to turn from something that's based in experience, even experience of changed states of consciousness, to the letting go and dissolution of self. Are two very different movements, right? One is interesting, and one is kind of, like I said, it's kind of entertaining, and it's very revealing, and it's extraordinarily important, the level of true spiritual insight and revelation. The other, not so fascinating, not so sexy, not so interesting to the mind, do you know? And even worse than that, you can't do it. You can't do it. So, I mean, again, it's kind of like thought thinking how not to think. Or you have a self trying to not be itself. Do you see what I mean? So the harder you try to let go of yourself, all you're doing is holding on, right? So it's not about something you do, it's something that you sort of consciously begin to join and agree to. And not just an intellectual level, but at a very, very, very deep level. You join and you allow it to happen. You allow this falling away to happen. You don't do it. You don't know how to do it. No one can know how to do it. But it happens nonetheless. All you have to do is allow it to happen.